Today I want to talk to you a little bit about fear and specifically, how to handle fear and where it comes up for people, and I think the improper way that most people deal with it. And basically I think that we all have fears that come up in particular situations around certain things. Some of those are conditioned, some of those are just natural. And it's really important if you want to get what you want in life to be able to break through those fears and actually address them and confront them and break through them. And, I've noticed that a lot of people, and I myself obviously, when we feel the different fears that we have around certain things, it tends to be related to, what we think this potential outcome is in our mind. And we picture the potential outcome that's going to be negative, that we're afraid of, and we sort of inflate that one, whether it's failing in business or having a social situation turn awkward. We focus on the outcome that we don't want, we make it really big in our mind and play out all of the different details, and it may not even happen. And, that's what increases those feelings of anxiety and stress inside of our bodies. So I think that one thing that's really important is to realize that, every single time that you don't break through one of those things, it actually grows. I think a lot of us make the mistake of thinking that we're safe just, avoiding these kinds of fears. Sorry about that. And what I found is that anytime that you don't break through, you're not safer just staying still and not addressing it. If you have a fear of starting your own business and you don't break through that and start the business when you feel like you have to, eventually you're going to be put in a situation where you lose your job or something financially happens where if you had just broken through that fear before, you would have been protected. And this happens with relationships too. You need to break through those fears when they come up because it's actually less safe. And you should be realizing that you should have a greater fear towards the risk that you're taking on in the future every time you don't push through and, address one of these fears. So that's actually a good way to start breaking them down as well, because if you can start to raise the scale of, what you're more afraid of, are you more afraid of the thing in the moment? Are you more afraid of, starting a conversation with a person? Or are you more afraid of what it's going to look like 10 years from now when you haven't learned the skill and you're in a situation where you had to move or something and you're in a new place and now you know no one and now you're at a complete hindrance because you didn't get this handled in the first place. So, what I think a good thing to do today would be to just write down whatever your biggest fear is right now, or it doesn't even have to be your biggest, just start with one. Write down something that you're afraid of, and then, think about what's the real cost of this down the road and really dig into it. How is it going to cost you if you don't get this handled? And make sure that you get that fear of that alternate future that you don't want to be so great that you feel like it could actually push you over towards taking that action today. And then another thing to do, and we can talk about this in another video, is to think about some of the positives. What will you get if you get this handled? If you start that business, what's it going to be like? And so focus on some of the positives too, and if you get both of those two things down, then it'll help you just automatically start to handle that fear in a more productive, healthy way for yourself. So I hope you found this video helpful. Again, like always, if you've got any questions, put them in the comments below, and look forward to seeing you next time.